Wow. That's all you can really say after arguably one of the greatest sporting events in history. Of course, I wish I was at the stadium, but to see Argentina, Messi's Argentina, and Mbappe's France go at it against each other like that was utterly ridiculous. So today in this video, I'm just going to rant and just talk about Argentina versus France in the World Cup final. Crazy. I'm really lost for words still, like just stunned by the drama and the entertainment of it all. The fact that Argentina have won the World Cup as well, given the context at the start of the tournament where they were unbeaten in 36 games, and in their opening match, they lose against Saudi Arabia. I mean, does that make Saudi Arabia the best team in the world? In all seriousness though, Argentina have always been on the back foot of this World Cup since that moment. Against Mexico, they were struggling at 0-0, then Messi scored and changed things. And speaking of Messi, he scored in every stage of this World Cup. All the knockout stages, in the group stage as well. What a player. And the fact that Messi and Mbappe were on the same amount of goals going into the final. Messi scored twice, and then Mbappe scores a hat-trick. 2 goals in 2 minutes. And then in the 118th minute to drag France into the penalty shootout was insane. It's so hard to forget, but actually Argentina in the full 90 minutes were comfortably the better team. They scored 2 lovely goals in the first half. France had 2 shots on target and it was their 2 goals in normal time. So I do think overall Argentina deserved this win and Messi was fantastic, but Mbappe, what a player. He, for me, is the best player in the world right now, but Messi is the GOAT. And despite the result, whatever happened, whether Argentina had won or lost, Messi would always my GOAT. Because like I said in the previous video about England and Gareth Southgate, in the elite sporting moments, it is fine margins, and it is these moments that just define these matches. So there's only so much you can do as a coach, as a player. The fact that Mbappe scored those 2 goals was utterly ridiculous. I mean, it was so bad from Otamendi to make that challenge. Then Mbappe makes it 2-1. And then the 1-2 with, I think, Coman was fantastic to make it 2-2. I really, really, really thought Messi had won it for Argentina in extra time. And then for Mbappe to have that shot, it was really clumsy from the Argentinian defender to have his hand out there for the penalty to make it 3-3. But still, for Mbappe to step up 3 times to take 3 different penalties and score, he went down the same way each time. Ridiculous. Just such a brilliant, brilliant player. And I think it is quite fitting that he's won the Golden Boot, but Messi has won the Player of the Tournament and Argentina have won the World Cup. And I do think it's relatively fair. I do think Argentina were the best team in the whole tournament, despite losing to Saudi Arabia, and France were the second best team because they beat a very good England team, got past a tricky Morocco, who at that point had only conceded 1 goal, and that was an own goal. And then they went toe-to-toe with Argentina, but couldn't quite get the win, similar to England. I have to mention Emi Martinez's save as well in the 120th minute from the French substitutes. What an incredible save. You talk about clutch moments as well. He makes that save, and then Argentina go up the other end, and Martinez almost scores with a header. That moment, that kind of 15-20 second moment, reminded me of when Watford played Brighton in the Championship. Oh no, it wasn't Brighton, it was Leicester. When Watford played Leicester in the Championship playoffs, where Almunia makes the saves, then Deeney went up the other end and scored. It was almost like that. I have just compared the Championship playoff semi-finals to the World Cup final, but it was a similar moment to that. Just what a ridiculous game of football. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, and you can argue it's up there with the greatest sporting moment ever, that whole match. I can't think of another sporting moment that's up there at the moment, certainly in football, let alone in other sports. Going into the game, out of the 2 teams, I did want Argentina to win, just because France had beaten England and I just wanted it for Messi. For me, he was always the GOAT, but just to really cement that argument, because no one can argue with it now. No one can argue that Messi is the GOAT, forever GOAT. But Mbappe, when he retires, he might be considered the new GOAT, because he already has 12 World Cup goals. He's already won the World Cup at 19. He's won the Golden Boot at this World Cup. How many more trophies is Mbappe going to win? That's what I want to know. But for Messi, he has cemented himself as the GOAT. I'm going to make more World Cup content, and I've just had such a great time watching this tournament. I've talked about the controversies off the pitch because they needed addressing, but on the pitch, it has been an incredible World Cup. I don't know whether Winter World Cup is going to stay forever, but it has been very entertaining. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much.